There's never a better day in, I guess, the calendar year than when you get to meme on something less successful than you are when you're already unsuccessful. It's a great feeling. You're always punching up, but this one day you get to swing down. And I'm taking pot shots and bullying the Google Stadia. We're going to take its lunch money today, hypothetically and figuratively, even though I technically am a freelance employee for Google in a way by working through YouTube, and that might not be great. Hey, so Jill is here today, actually for the first time ever. This is my fiance.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. Magical Jill, that's your name.
Yes.
But also just Jill. But I'm Degenerate Jay, you're Magical Jill. We're quite the pair.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's going to be kind of a recurring thing.
No, it's not going to be.
You're
I'm not
leaving
going to be
after
here
this?
anymore.
You're
Yeah.
leaving?
Yeah. Bye.
Important things to do.
I'm flying back to Maine.
Yeah, you have to go back there and get a Stadia.
Yeah, I do now.
Before we get started, Jill's social media is down in the description below, mainly her Twitter, which is what you should check out and follow if you like me or her. She will be in many more videos to come. So hope you have fun. Here's the thing with the Stadia. Many people don't even know what this is.
Many people, lots of people.
Lots of people don't know what the Google Stadia is. We're going to get into that, but it's so weird, the news surrounding this thing. So Stadia was pushed quite a while ago, and it was supposed to be, this big future of gaming thing. It came out. No one really seemed to care much.
I never even heard of it till today.
Yeah,
like an hour ago.
Jill didn't even know what it was. And they had announced now over 100 new games in 2021 for the Stadia. So the first thing I think is worth pointing out, Jill asked me right away, are they good games? Which there's no way they all are. And
they didn't even say what the games were, did they?
No, they said some, but not many.
That means they're bad.
Well, it's funny because they just shut down their development studio. They had an internal development studio for Stadia at Google. They hired industry veterans to come in and help them make games and stuff like that. That's one of the things with the Stadia is, other than some timed exclusives, which also have sort of been going to PC, there's not much reason to play this in terms of exclusives. When you have stuff like PlayStation or even Xbox and the Microsoft PC store type thing, you think of exclusives right away. God of War. Okay, you're not playing that on Xbox.
Also known as GAO.
GAO, yeah. You're not playing that on Stadia. You're not playing it on Switch. But Switch, Mario Odyssey, or Mario Kart. You're not playing those on PlayStation. These things each offer something different. It's why I try to get all of them that I can. But that's a deciding factor for a lot of people who either don't want to or can't do that. So when you're offering a platform and you offer very little of that, and then you sort of promise to offer it, and then you shut down the one place it's going to come from, does that really make anyone confident in the future of your product?
$10 a month for how many months? It would just be cheaper in the long run to buy a PlayStation, buy whatever games you want.
Yeah, if you're going to use this for 3 years, it would be much cheaper at that point to just buy a PS4 and just play all the same games that you wanted to play on there. Now, the only thing is you don't own them technically yet, and you would have to buy the games after that. But the Stadia has some of the same stuff with like buying games and then owning it in your library or streaming, from a select amount of titles.
But that's only if you have good internet.
Yeah.
If you live in Afghanistan, you're screwed.
Well, that's actually true. There's so many areas in the world that have bad internet. Now, I think you can speak to this a little bit. Where Jill lived in Maine before moving here with me, like I have about a gigabit download speed a second. Now, it's not always consistently that, but it's pretty close. I get that for work. Jill's family had, 15 megabits a second?
Maybe? I think so. I sent you the statistics. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was 15 megabits a second. And if anyone was doing anything else, it would make gaming lag.
Oh,
So Jill had a friend over and she was watching Netflix. And so during that, it's like you were trying to play COD and it didn't even run right.
COD just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So imagine that with this, where it's pretty much reliant on Wi-Fi.
It lags so bad. Not everyone's the Degenerate Jay who spends $200 a month on Wi-Fi.
Okay, I need Wi-Fi for my job.
Yeah, but not everyone's you. Not everyone has that much money to spend on Wi-Fi.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it's a very specific thing for me because my mom lives with us. We both help take care of her. She helps us too. And she also needs it for her job too. So it's like there's two people here that work remotely, essentially. There's a lot of reason for us to buy that, but for most people, yeah, it's not going to be worth the money, and most people can't even afford it. For us, it's kind of a business expense. But I think that that's really an issue with it, along with the owning games issue, which there's a lot of semantics with that. A lot of people will say, like, well, when you buy God of War, the disc, you don't really own the game either because you own the disc, not the intellectual property. And it's like, sure, but what is Sony going to do? Are they going to send a gunman to my house to take the game? No.
Yeah, you can play it whenever you want.
Yeah.
But like with the Stadia, if you don't have internet, sucks. You can't play that game.
Yeah, it's pretty worthless. And I don't really understand the argument from some of these people of like, well, you have those same problems on console. Sure, if you lose internet, you can't download a digital game or patch it, I guess, or play multiplayer. But you pointed out Animal Crossing, what, 9/10 of the game are still playable or more without internet.
Yeah. You can still play and build everything that you want to. And, the only issue is you can't have your friends over, which, like, most people don't have friends these days.
Jeez, that's very, very dark.
The people watching your channel don't have friends.
That's not true. They have more friends than me.
Well, they probably have more friends than me, too.
So, I did want to talk about this, though, too, because despite their commitment, I don't think many people even know what a Google Stadia is or own one. I did a poll on YouTube, and it was kind of interesting results. I was not expecting this at all. I asked, seriously, this was a week ago, do you or anyone you know own a Google Stadia? Because I just wanted to know. 2% of people answered that they owned one. 2% of people answered, I know someone who owns one.
66% of people say, I know nobody who owns a Google Stadia.
Yeah, and 30% answered, lol, what's a Google Stadia? Now, I can maybe skew these statistics a little bit, and maybe a third of the people who answered, lol, what's a Google Stadia, did it to be funny, because it's, really not that big of a deal. But even then, even if you cut 10% of that answer of 16,000 people off, which is a very generous margin of error, that would still be 20% of people answering this thing who just don't even know what a Stadia really is.
Yep.
That's not good.
No.
So I think that when it comes down to it, they've done a really bad job with actually marketing this thing. I have seen advertisements for it. They usually sing like Stadia at the beginning of it. And then they show some people running around in a neighborhood playing games and not getting mugged. Stuff like that in their advertisements. I've seen them advertise it, but the fact that they're advertising and people still don't know what it is a problem.
Yeah, they don't really explain very well what it is.
No, and I think that the fact that there's still people posting online asking, can you use this thing without the official controller? What do I need to buy? What do I actually own?
Well, speaking of which, the official controller is $100.
Yeah, it's kind of ugly. It looks like an Apple product. And that's not to really completely crap on Apple, but it's like that weird white, look.
Not everything from Apple is white. I have a black iPhone. So.
Well, yeah, but like the old iMacs.
Those were ugly.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of issues with this thing. I just think it's kind of funny. I don't know if we're really adding anything to the conversation here for the most part, other than just trying to point out what's the point.
If the Degenerate J is speaking on it, then he's adding to the conversation. That's all.
Thank you so much. Has it been decreed? So I don't know. I'm interested to know what you think about this thing. Do you think there's a point to it? I don't really at this point. I could see gaming going this way eventually. I think that eventually they're going to want everything to be sort of the Netflix of gaming, because it's easier to just keep stuff on that digital platform, let you do whatever with it, whether it's stream or download it, pay a subscription fee where they get you every month on it, that kind of stuff. I think that's easier for these companies, and also they control their game much more easily. Sort of like The Office leaving Netflix, right? You could very easily lose something off the storefront, and if they never promised it to you, like, you signed up and the offer was, hey, our library of games is subject to change at any time, well, then that video game company could go make a deal with a different service, and you could have to get that if you want to play that game. It's annoying, but I could see companies wanting to make gaming this way.
I would never like that though. Like,
That's the
wouldn't
thing,
you rather own your game, play it whenever you want, and not have to worry about, some company coming into your house, holding you at gunpoint, taking your game away?
That's the thing, is like, I don't know who wants this other than certain companies.
Yeah.
The consumer doesn't want this. They've proven that. They don't even know what the hell it is.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
I think that even if they want gaming to eventually go the way of the Stadia model, I don't think that's going to happen for a long, long time. Stadia! Let us know what you think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? And hey, we are going to add a new official poll on the channel. It's one of upsetment at this house.
Upsetment?
I am upset and appalled.
Yeah, I'm upset and appalled too, because this man keeps making fun of me for putting ketchup on my chicken.
I just think it's weird to put ketchup on chicken.
It's a normal thing, and I want to know if all of you put ketchup on your chicken. Do you dip your chicken nuggets in ketchup? Do you put ketchup just on chicken in general? Do you like ketchup?
Well, they could like ketchup and not put it on the chicken.
No, they gotta put it on the kitchen.
Put it on the kitchen.
They gotta put it on the chicken.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below about everything we talked about. Be sure to check out that poll or I will be in trouble. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everybody, stay shway and subscribe for more content.